Hey, there I am. Ah, Ted Budd. Let me tell you what, buddy. If I had another name besides Ficus, you bet your sorry ass it'd be Ted Budd. He's like if Ted Bundy fucked a potato. Good stuff.
Bud, thank you very much for joining us.
Yes, attack of the 50-foot ficus.
Just your initial reactions to this phone call, expected to happen within the half hour now.
Yeah, give them a reaction on shit that ain't happened yet. That's amazing. I once called a psychic named Theodora Budd. She said, not you again, all shit, and hung up. I took it as a good sign.
Between the two world leaders, requested by President Putin and...
Yeah, like you could almost, if you listen, you can hear the sound of his tail between his legs.
Of course, Biden said yes. This is the second...
Yeah, which is a total sign of weakness. Tell him, Ted, you do not say yes to somebody like Vladimir Putin. You don't talk to that dude. You don't give him the time of fucking day. You don't... Well, unless you're Trump. And then you gargle his balls like he's your aunt, uncle, son, father, niece, brother.
Time in 3 weeks, so that they will have spoken.
Well, this is part of a larger context, but the real concern is that this is about American weakness in the way that Biden has led all the way from about last August in Afghanistan.
Well, why? If it's a sign of weakness, how come he's calling? I don't want to shit on your parade there, buddy, but I got to tell you, I remember when we had our Sadie Hawkins dance, and my sister, who is also her father, had to call herself. And she waited and waited and waited for the phone to ring, and it just didn't. And eventually she just put her pride to the side, picked up a phone, and over the dulcet tones of it going, if you'd like to make a call, please hang up and dial your operator. She asked herself to the dance.
What we need is American strength, like the way Trump led.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We need more American strength, like the way he did, where he just let them do everything.
Certainly wouldn't have this problem with the Ukraine and the potential Russian invasion if he was still the president. But right now...
Well, no, he was going to give it to him. That's fair. It's theirs. They all speak Russian in it. They all speak Ruski. I don't trust a lot of them.
We're very concerned. I know you were just talking about the Nord Stream 2. What you're seeing is growing Russian strength, and they're flexing their muscle like a mother bear that's longing for her cubs.
I can't be the only person that just got aroused by that analogy.
Was in Russia in August of 1991 when it began to collapse.
Oh my God, Mark! It's 15 minutes to New Year's there in Ireland. Well, hold on, shit. 1 second. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I have to look something up. I'm not good with computers. Well, I want to say to you, Aflahane, foy, Mahays, do it. How's that? Does that sound good? Huh? Aflahane, foy, Mahays, do it. Yeah? Is that good? That's as close as I can get there, man, and still maintain my southern accent.
I've seen what they're...
Oh, my God, there's 666 people in this super chat. That's terrible. No, it is not terrible. It is not terrible. What are you talking about? Hold on. That's not terrible. That's a good thing. Ficus, you can't do that to me. We need all the support we can get. Oh, Aggie, thank you. Welcome. Happy New Year. Is it already New Year? It's probably already New Year's where you are, Aggie. She's calling us from the future. She's super chatting from the future. Thank you, Melinda. Yeah, there you go. Aggie, bless you for that. Appreciate it. And thanks, Sweet Mel, for the bits. Thank you for hosting us, Stargal, as well. And Moms, thank you for hosting me as well. And for the bits. You guys, 666 super chat if you're feeling it. Any derivative version of that. You can do high order math. multiply or subtract by 6. Do what you got to do. If you're spiritually superstitious, I guess you could do 777 when we hit that number, or $10 when we hit 1,000 people in the chat. Fingers crossed. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share the show. Look, I did all my stuff. It's my New Year's resolution. It's not even New Year's yet. I'm running my New Year's resolutions based on the fact that it's going to be New Year's in 12 minutes in Ireland. Thank you, LM.
Trying to rebuild. This is not a road that we want to go down again. We have to maintain our American strength, and the Biden administration is just not doing that.
Why? Again, I just fucking showed you guys that Biden was like, yeah, we're not easing sanctions based unless you start de-escalating. Period. He set a red line and he's not moving on it. And they said, what do you think about Putin's red lines? Like, I don't give a shit about other people's red lines. Which is that's the one of the ways that you care about your own red lines, is to not give a shit about other people's red lines. I mean, I guess there's some negotiation room. Maybe there's a space between your red line and my red line that we can find some common ground. I mean, that'd be a goal in the new year. Sure.
Biden was part of the Obama administration back when Russia overtook Crimea.
Yes, he was the vice president. He had literally no control over the circumstances then. He was against the surge, and he was right. He wanted to get out of Afghanistan, and he was right. And when he got into office, he fucking did it. Now, let's look at Afghanistan during the Obama administration and the Trump administration and the waning years of the Bush administration about the exit of Afghanistan. Everybody talking about it, nobody actually doing it. And then Biden getting in an office, and in 7 months, fuck you, bye, we're gone. Now, compare that, since everybody else didn't, and then he did, to Crimea and red lines about stuff that occurred in other administrations before he was president, because Biden is the president of the United States. Now that he has the power to make these decisions on his own, what do you think he's gonna do? Do you think he's gonna finally get to do what he was advising Obama to do, and when he campaigned against Trump, complaining that Trump didn't do? I think so.
Area of Ukraine. Do you think that that also has something to do with why they perceive this administration as being so weak?
No, they're shitting their pants because of NATO movement, and they're running out of money.
They do. They know what...
Yeah, dude, they totally do, bud. Thank you, Kelly, for the super chat. And thank you, Deirdre. Oh my God, Daryl, thank you. Happy New Year's Eve, and all your alternate personalities. Waves at Chip and the cupcake. Happy New Year's Eve, all you crazy sparklers. Thank you so much, Daryl. And Carl, thank you for the super chat as well. Bless you guys. You guys are being so nice. It's almost like it's a holiday or something. Carl, thank you for the 666. The last 666 of 2021. It's true. Thank you, Karen, for 666. Thank you, Travis, for 666. Oh my God, DC2257. Thank you. You are feeling it. I'm feeling it. You're feeling it. Craig, thank you for the 666 as well. You guys are so sweet. I'm going to start crying.
Tremendous influence on this administration, even now. And so when you saw what little green men in Crimea in 2014, the good side is that we've had 7 years for the Ukraine to prepare for a potential Russian invasion. There's only
well, they did have a short period of time twice in the last 4 years, Bud, where they were behind the 8 ball. The beginning was when, for whatever fucking reason, the only changes to the RNC platform that Paul Manafort made on behalf of Donald John Trump was to remove offensive weaponry from the Ukrainians. Weird. Kind of part of the whole reason why people thought he was in Russia's pocket, because that really helped them. And then the Congress of the United States votes to give more aid to Ukraine because of pressure from Russia. And not only does Trump threaten to not let it go through, and use it as a way to try to manipulate them into, going out and having a press conference saying, we're investigating Joe Biden, so that he can run on that press conference and have a do-over of the Comey Hillary Clinton email server moment from 2016, because everything's a fucking reboot. Not only that, but then he withholds that those funds until the last fucking second.
Small window when they can do this during the winter. So we got to go.
Oh, thank you, Sylvia, and thank you, Seattle Susie Q. Bless you. Happy New Year to you, and Happy New Year, Crystal. Here's to a good 2022. And Michelle, thank you as well. Patty, Happy New Year.
To the January 10th talks and keep pushing them off the ledge from invasion. Look, it's fine if Russia wants to behave as a sovereign. They certainly are. But they do not need to try to rebuild the old USSR, which is what Putin longs for. It's almost a form of sovereign sentimentality where he wants to rebuild the former Russian regime.
Yeah, he just sits around singing old Russian war songs, dreaming of a Russia not cut off at the knees, but armed to the teeth. This fucker's been watching Val Kilmer's The Saint
of the USSR.
Actually, I think that would actually be a good idea, because he might actually learn something.
Look at this tweet that went out by former DNI Rick Grinnell. He said, a career Foreign Service officer at the State Department tells me that the U.S. policy on Russia and Ukraine is not to have any distance from the Europeans. Whatever the Europeans want is the Biden policy. This is scary. They control him, and Putin knows it.
No, we're lockstep with them. That's what fucking NATO is, dum-dum. We are all working together to deal with Russia as this threat. Because effectively, through oil and drugs, they make a shit ton of money that they use to make weapons that they sell to China and North Korea and Iran. That's the problem. And Europe is dealing with that shit almost as much, well, probably more so, because they're way closer to it than we are. And Rick Grinnell is a moron, and the only people he talks to are Trump sycophants who are too busy filleting themselves to look up and look at their monitors on their desk to know what's actually going on.
Your response to that, because, when it comes to these...
Here's my response. Bullshit.
Demands that he's making of NATO and saying that, we don't ever want Ukraine to be able to be a NATO member, and asking Biden to be able to say yes to that when Biden can't do that, actually.
Well, and he also has no interest in doing that. It's not that he can't do it. We are part of NATO. We could veto them becoming part of it, but it's not that he can't. It's that he's not going to do it.
So does he know that he is running, in sync with our European allies when it comes to that?
Well, what we need is that generation over there to remember 1945 all the way up to 1991 and the tremendous Cold War threat, and how the U.S. helped stay that threat, and under Ronald Reagan and George H.W. Bush
aligning with NATO and our European partners, and
to an end. 1989 with the fall of the Berlin Wall.
I think you're talking to me. I hope so. I appreciate it. Linda Workman says, Happy New Year to you, and Sparks. Thank you, Linda. And thank you, Wilma, for passing that on.
And then 1991, the collapse of the Iron Curtain. And we need to remember the prior threat before that and how oppressive it was. And we need to make sure that we lead through American strength. So certainly we want Europe as our allies, but we need to become, going back to your prior topic, we need to become a net exporter of fuel and natural gas to Europe, so they don't become dependent on potential predatory supplier, which is Russia. This Nord Stream 2 is very, very concerning, because it's almost like, if you will, a drug dealer where it's cheap at first, but it becomes very expensive.
Yeah, it's like a drug dealer who has like dozens of dealers selling powder on the street, and instead you just go, how about use a giant syringe? Okay, I'll put all my drugs in a giant syringe. And then instead of having to shoot all the drug dealers to stop the drug flow, you just put a kink in the syringe. Do these guys not have any fucking strategic pre-thought at all? I mean, honest to fucking God. if Nord Stream 2 is specifically going, yes, Russia, please put all your energy eggs in one basket. Also, we will sanction anybody who insures any section of that pipeline in any number of countries. And therefore, if it gets blown up by, I don't know, Chechen separatists or radical anti-Putin lunatics or something like that, we're not going to use taxpayer-backed money or let anybody else do that to fucking fix it. Get out there with a hammer and nail, asshole.
Later on, especially during a potential harsh winter.
Yeah, and
Maxwell, thank you so much. And Fuzi, thank you. Thanks for all you do, Hal. Big love to all the sparklers and Rip Betty White. Yes, we love her. Thank you, Fuzzle Bean. Bless you for that. I appreciate the derivation of 666 there. And Susan, thank you for subscribing. And Wes, thank you for becoming a member.
Giving the go-ahead for that by lifting sanctions. Initially, it's very difficult to go back once things are already...
Is it? Is it dumb? It's amazing if you ease sanctions on people selling energy or eating food. It's impossible to put them back on again. No, it isn't. Also, 1 second. Hold on. Let's see. Nord Stream 2 insurers. Get out of here. Skip the ad. Closing. I got it. Move on. I'm waiting for an ad to go. Give me 1 second. Insurers threatened by fresh sanctions on Nord Stream 2. The U.S. government's fresh sanctions on companies linked to the Nord Stream 2 pipeline project are discouraging European insurers from covering the politically sensitive pipeline that is meant to directly transport gas from Russia to Germany, Reuters reported. European insurers such as AXA SA, and Zurich Insurance Group Limited and insurer Munich Reinsurance Company have already refused to cover the project. I'm trying to read past that label on my screen. There you go. See, this is what you call actual chess. Because if you can't protect this fucking thing, if you can't get insurance for huge sections of it, it is way easier to institute sanctions or to, quite frankly, blow up fucking parts of it. I don't know why I have The World Is Not Enough Bond film in my mind right now. I think many of you would understand why. 5, 4, 3, 2. Happy New Year, Ireland and the UK. Bless you. Happy New Year. It's so nice to be on there with you guys. That's so lovely. Happy New Year. I wish you a freedom from the grief and sorrow and toughness of the last 2 years over the next year. As plodding as it may feel at times, I want you to have the deepest, freest breath you have ever drawn in your life over the next 12 months. And a renewed love for life and an adventuresome spirit to go out and see the rest of the world. So to our UK friends and our, in Ireland and Scotland, my people in Ireland and Scotland and England, and Wales, the folks who watch in Wales, and those in Europe, Happy New Year, Aggie as well. Thank you guys so much for spending some time with me. Now go kiss somebody and drink something, I suppose. That's lovely. Just keep breathing. Yes. 8 hours, that's right. Thank you, Francie. Bless you. Happy New Year, UK. Thanks for sharing your time with me. I understand more than anything you'll ever know. Like, I appreciate. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. I appreciate our patrons for making the show possible. I appreciate the super chats more than you got. I can even say, because it would be impossible to do the show without them. I appreciate the bits and points and the subscriptions on Twitch and all that stuff. But more than all of that, I appreciate you gifting me with your time. And I do not take it for granted. And I want to make the time we spend together valuable for you. Period. Because even if you're one of the people that can't afford to super chat or can't afford to become a patron, any of that stuff, the fact that you are gifting me with eyeball time is something, time is something we never get back. And so I want you to know I recognize what a precious commodity it is, and I appreciate you guys like letting me share in yours. Oh, go hug the dog. Oh, because there's fireworks around you? Thank you, Iva. No, I'm not sick and I don't have allergies. I just I think I have cat hair in my nose and it tickled me. The lead guitar player for the Eagles is a Welshman. Oh, that's cool. A Walshman, I see. So there you go. Thank you for getting us through the election. I'll be there. Don't worry about it. 20 months and counting, right? Can we all scream at midnight? Sure. I'm going to pop back on. I'm going to do my show the regular time. I'll be off at 5 o'clock, but I'll be back on just at midnight my time to count it in with you guys. So just so you know, I'll be on for another hour like normal, and then But anyways, normal show. Here we go. Back to the show. Here it goes. This is it. I love you. I love you in not a creepy way too. Well, maybe a little creepy. So, I'm sorry, Grinnell. Biden controlled by Europeans. Fucking hell. Like, get over yourself. Controlled by the Europeans.
In the process of happening. Do you think that we should ultimately send troops on the ground to Ukraine if this does happen?
Yeah. But come on, Bud. Get all tough, you son of a bitch. Let's come on. Put your eggs where your money is.
And Russia does invade Ukraine?
Well, it's a fine balance. We want to make sure that we supply them with what they need. We've been sending javelins for the last 18 months, since 2018. So we need to make sure that we supply them.
Yeah, for the last 18 months, except for that 90 days where Trump withheld all of it until that part.
And what they need militarily. And we'll have to further evaluate if we need to send troops or not.
Yeah, because I don't know if Americans would be on board for that right when we were trying to bring our troops.
Yeah, right. Trying. We fucking did, dum-dum. Also, look at this asshole. Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's a good point. No.
From these wars in other places.
This should have been prevented through national strength, which unfortunately there was a real, a flaw in the armor back in
by the way,
August with our withdrawal from Afghanistan. But
hold on, what the fuck does through national strength other than threats? What do you mean? Just what did our military get weaker during that time, during the last 7 months? No, because we were focused on getting out of Afghanistan. Putin, I guess because he watches a lot of Fox and Newsmax, was under the impression that the Biden administration couldn't walk and chew gum at the same time. Chew guns at the same time. And they were wrong. He was wrong.
Strength prevents all of this problem, and that's what we need to see from any administration.
Yeah, we need some strength. What does strength look like? Bravado, bullshit, hammer your fist on the thing. Do the stuff Putin does that lets the entire world know how weak he is, because if he starts yelling, that's a sign that he's breaking down. There was recently, let's see, Putin uncharacteristically angry. Where are the news. It's good. I'm gonna find. He's in here somewhere. Hold on. Jesus Christ, this is just old. There was an article I just saw. I don't know if I can bring it up. Putin lashes out. Let's just do that. Maybe that's in the thing. Why are these not in order? Yeah, hold on. Okay, I understand. Get out. Okay, I understand. There you go. Here's Russia. Please. Are you out of your mind? Putin lashes out at Europe over blaming Russia for gas prices. Hold on. Hey, buddy, listen here. See this finger? I've been 3 knuckles deep in Donald Trump. Don't tell me what to do. Russian president sends strongly worded message to European leaders. Oh, does he now? Delivered a clear message to gas-strapped European governments, warning them that Russia will not supply extra unless they sign more long-term gas supply contracts and remove administrative barriers. During a heated 2-hour-long session at the Russian Energy Week conference in Moscow this week, Putin criticized and mocked European efforts to switch away from fossil fuels and nuclear energy to decarbonize and nuclear energy to decarbonized and renewable energy sources. By the way, and nuclear energy, they're moving towards nukes to avoid fossil fuels. That's, I mean, I don't know what the fuck they're trying to say there, but whatever. Okay. Do you want Russia to boost gas supplies to Europe or not? Putin asked, referring to pronouncements that the continent will soon reduce its purchase of natural gas as solar and wind generation increases. Yeah, this is what he's staring down the barrel of. Because if Europe can purchase enough natural gas from, Africa, make it in their own countries, or get it from the, North America in particular, or South America, the fuck do they need Russia for? And if they just want to use the Nord Stream pipeline as a 4-year stopgap as they transition, so that slowly but surely, after all that pressure, the Nord Stream pipeline just slowly gets ground down to a fucking drip. And you just watch like a tourniquet on the Russian economy. He said the Russian state-owned gas monopoly, Gazprom, had already increased gas exports to Europe by 10% between January and September this year compared to 2020, which is when everything went down. Of course, it's up 10% from when it was going down 70%. Doesn't help. Fucking hell. Again, these percentage assholes, they do it every time. Every time. How many times I got to tell these people? Okay, here we go. Go ahead, bud.
Including Joe Biden's administration, which unfortunately we're not seeing.
All right, we will see what comes.
I'm sure there's a lot of things you're not seeing.
The phone call today. Congressman Ted Budd from my home state of North Carolina. Always great to see you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for coming on and saying absolutely fucking nothing. But hey, we got through the time, and we just I guess that went by so quickly. It's amazing how you could say so little and yet still ate up the 5-minute segment.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Oh, God. Look at what they're offering up on the Newsmax site. Sit down. Huckabee and Trump at Mar-a-Lago and the Christmas special, which is the same fucking interview. They just cut pieces of it and put it in this and took a couple of pieces out of this one so they'd have something for the Christmas special. Just, ugh.